Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin in Tucson, Arizona. Thanks for joining me today for an open box video of a bunch of coins that we already looked at previously. If you want to look at the original video, go ahead and click on the magic floating icon that's popping up on the screen. I had a roll of 1948 Denver minted half dollars, and we're actually going to put our track shoes on here and run. I'm going to give you a spoiler here in just a minute, so if you want to watch that video so you can see the coins in depth, go watch that video now. And then hop on back over to here, 1948D. And so I'm going to run through these. I'm going to give you all a recap now, so that's a spoiler alert, for my prediction of how the coins would come back. So one, I disqualified. I had one at 62, 563, 764s, 565s, and 166. Those were my predicciones. Now, having said that, we're going to run through these bad boys and by the way, I mean I have a couple coins in here that are just stupid good. This coin came back at 65 full bell line. I'm considering sending all of these coins in to CAC, just because, just as an experiment, but also, maybe not. But so here's one that was scuffy, and lots of these guys were coming back full bell line. For those of you who don't know, the full bell line is the bottom three lines. 48Ds come full bell line very easily. 66 is kind of the top of the grade. And by that I mean if you get a 67, the price points go goo goo gaga crazy. This one came back at 64. That one felt like it was maybe more of a 63, I think. I don't have all of these coins memorized individually, but we'll take a quick look here and see how we did relative to what my original score sheet was. Here's another one that has some scuffiness to it. Another 64 FBL. Mostly full bell line, I think, is what we're going to see. I think that's what we had talked about in the original video. So on this particular set of coins, a full bell lines gray sheet is on a 64 is going to be 50 bucks, 70 bucks, and then if you get a 66, they're 165, and a 67 is 3,600. So that's what I mean by 66 being kind of like the highest grade you can get, because then 67 is a stupid number, right? And we wouldn't be so lucky as to get something stupid now, would we? Probably not. Now, we might be stupid, but to get something stupid. 64 FBL. Yeah, to get something that high of a grade, I wouldn't say I've never been that lucky, but I would say that I don't plan on getting that lucky with this group. I think there were a couple that I had to get some of the haze off of. I think there was 2 or 3 that I did use some acetone. Here's a 65 FBL. I don't think I really denoted on my list if I was going to get FBLs or not. I think I said most of them would go FBL. Well, so far, things are kind of coming across. Here's another 65. At a clip probably a grade higher than I had them. And sometimes we're looking too fondly upon our own coins, and maybe sometimes we're too critical. Yeah, because like this coin here, I think is one that I had called 5 because of some contact marks on the obverse, but this coin also has just such a killer look. And that one came back as 6. So where I'm going back and forth in my mind is whether or not to send all of the coins into CAC just as an experiment, or if I should just grab those ones that I like the best. As far as like what the market is on those, if you're actually going to do something tactical, a lot of those coins, the price increase for getting a sticker is so minimal. So like a 64 jumps 10 coins, 10 coins in the fountain. A 64 jumps $10 in price according to the gray sheet, and a 65 $20. So this coin I think was the one that I was the most flabbergasted with. I was like, that coin is just stunning. We had some real stunners, but this coin is my favorite. So the 66s do jump over more than 60 bucks. So, and here's one of those 66s. This coin is stunning. I might just send in the 5s and 6s that have the nice tone to them. I might do that. This one, I kind of feel like maybe I took a little bit of the schmegma off, but there's a little bit left there. This one's a 64, not full bell lines. Well, I'm just going to throw it in the same pile as the other 64s, but there's just one that's not a FBL. Oh, here's another one with toning that was like bonzo. So most of these coins here with this toning, there's, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them. They're definitely not going to trade like at your normal gray sheet prices because they're just too cool. So we'll figure it out. Like I said, maybe I'll send this one in also. That one's only a 5. It feels as nice as the 6, but it definitely feels nicer than some of the 5s that were in there. But some of these ones with toning, we're going to have to figure out maybe a different price point. Here's another one with just the killer color. What a fun group. That's also a 66. So right now we've got almost all 4s, 5s, and 6s. I had quite a few 3s on my list. There's another 64. That one is mostly white. This one's got some less appealing toning to it on the reverse, but then the obverse has some like really nice toning to it. Good look too. This coin is going to be another 66. So, yeah, maybe I was just being too conservative. Maybe I'll send them off to all the 6s off. Oh, this one's wild. Yeah, so, you know, as far as conservation goes and doing something to protect the coin, this one's interesting, you know, because you can't get rid of the darker spots on there without disrupting the kind of nice toning to it. That one's a 5. This one has a lot more of the little scuffs on it. A little bit of a hit on the head there that's coming down the scalp. That one is a 63, so that's our first 63. I got 2 more to go. I sent in 19 coins. Here is a 65. This one is also not full bands. So I've got 163, 164, and 165 that didn't go FBL. And last but not least, we've got one more. I feel like maybe this coin in particular is one that I had to acetone. I mean, it has a little bit more of a brightness to it. That one's a 64 FBL. All right, very different results here. We're going to see if the camera will focus on something I want it to. So let's see here. Of course, we did that one. So that's 1 for 1, check. 62's 0, 63's 1, 64's we've got what is this going to be here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 64's, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 65s, and then the 66s. The 66s I think all probably need to go to CAC. I mean, they're just, all of the 6s have such a great look to them. 4 66s. So you can see that there's a little bit of a shift this way here, as far as especially from 3 to 4. You know, you're going to see a shift. I almost had the right number of 4s, but that's because all those 3s dropped to 4s, pushing a couple down this way. So anyway, yeah, I think overall, you know, got to be happy with the results. And thanks so much for being here, guys. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.